Howard Dykes is here now with more on the now defunct Aloha Airlines.
And on the airline industry in general, it's been 4 months since Aloha ended all passenger service, blaming predatory pricing by Go and soaring jet fuel. Well, a lot has changed in 4 months, but some of the problems are still around. Thom Nulty joins us live on the last day of a visit back to the islands. He was Senior Vice President for Sales and Marketing at Aloha. Before we go to anything else, you've already landed. What are you doing now?
I'm now working for the Preferred Hotel Group. I'm Senior Vice President of Business Relations. And a wonderful opportunity, great company.
Oh, that sounds excellent.
Yeah.
Now, you do a lot of flying in connection with your work. So the first thing I want to ask you is what your impression has been when you're flying on the mainland in particular about the level of fares now and fees.
Well, believe it or not, I've actually found that fares in the mainland on occasion are very, very low, much to my surprise. There's been a lot of talk of additional fees, charging for bags and doing other things, but in general, I found the fares to be pretty low between California and Chicago. For example, I've flown a round trip for as little as $300, which doesn't make a lot of sense based on the actual cost of fuel. And that's what all these additional charges are all about. It's all about fuel, Howard. There isn't really much airlines can do about that. They can work on other costs, they can work on the revenue side, but as fuel goes up, they haven't invented an airplane yet that operates without it.
Now, as of this morning, crude oil is down about $30 a barrel from its high earlier in the summer, but that's still so high that it's hard to make a profit at current fares.
It's very, very hard, but it's certainly a relief from where it had been because that was just unbelievable. There was absolutely no way. Obviously, a lot of this is driven by speculation, too. Fuel shouldn't be as high as it is. Speculators are driving that fuel cost, and it's really not a real cost based on consumption or anything else. So I still think you're going to see it going down lower, and that'll be a huge relief to airlines as that happens. But they're still not out of the woods. It's when you think about it, when I showed up here in the islands a couple of years ago, we were paying about $1.20 a gallon for jet fuel. And it was approaching, I think, $4 in some cases for some carriers just a short while ago.
I read recently that kerosene, which is jet fuel, is commensurate to kerosene, is now being burned in India, and they're subsidizing it so that people won't go back to burning wood for fuel. So that's one of the things competing with jet fuel prices. Yeah. So you've been on Oahu recently, and I know you were staying at Turtle Bay, and it was kind of interesting what you saw up there.
Yeah, well, I met with the general manager at Turtle Bay, which is one of the Preferred Hotel Group hotels, and we were talking about what are they doing and how's business. And they mentioned that they were actually full this weekend, and they said primarily because they've been marketing to the locals and not marketing as much in the mainland in the short term because of the lack of capacity and other things. And they've actually been quite successful with their Escapes Club and have gotten a lot of business out there and filled the hotel this weekend.
That's fascinating that somebody would rather go to the other end of the island they're on than even fly 20 minutes to get to another island.
Yeah. Well, when you get out there the North Shore, it does feel like you're on another island, obviously.
Well, here's that.
Yeah.
Thom, thanks for coming in to update us on what I know was largely a pleasure trip.
Yeah, great to be here, Howard.